Alright, so the new year is amongst us, and I want to help you crush it by giving you 3 strategies to make sure that you stay true to your resolutions, you stay true to your word. Because there's nothing worse than being the person who says they're going to do something and then they don't do it. You don't want to be the person who gets a gym membership and says they're going to transform their bodies, only to be found 2 weeks later with a bag of Cheetos and some story about how they misplaced their membership. You don't want to be the person who's vowed to take on the healthy lifestyle, quit smoking and drinking, only to be found a month later at a party, passed out, higher than a motherfucker, higher than Snoop Dogg in a dispensary. We're going to make sure you don't have these problems with these 3 tips. Let's go. Alright, so tip number 3 is to focus more so on the habits than the end goals. A lot of the times when we think about these lofty goals that we have this image in our mind of the end outcome, of us having lost the 20 pounds, of us having made the 100,000 within a year, of us having lived a healthy lifestyle. But we don't lay down the battlements, we don't lay down the strategies, the battle plans of how we're going to attain these goals. And that's what I invite you guys to really focus on, which daily disciplines are needed and essential to accomplishing the big goal that you've set out. Think of your big goal as being like a wine glass, right? This wine glass, and now smash the shit out of that wine glass. It's gonna be thousands of shots going everywhere, right? Each one of these shots is the daily disciplines that's needed to create the wine glass being your end goal. When it's all joined together, it's your end goal. So every day, think about what it is, which disciplines are needed. In the example of losing weight, perhaps it's exercising, right? Doing at least 20 minutes or 30 minutes of exercising per day without fail, keeping away from processed foods, unhealthy foods, and just being consistent. Those are the 2 main goals that need to facilitate that. So if you focus on those instead of just focusing on the weight loss, naturally you will lose the weight, because losing the weight is a byproduct of those 2 functions. In the same way as if you focus on increasing your value to the world and being adaptive, you're gonna make more money, right? The money is a byproduct of the value and the adaptivity to circumstances. So focus on the habits, lay down the plans. Tip number 2, understand Parkinsons Law. Now there's the laws of thermodynamics, there's the laws of gravity, laws of relativity. But what's important in our discussion here is that you understand Parkinsons Law. Parkinsons Law basically states that work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. So if I give a university student 3 months to complete his thesis, you can bet your ass he's going to take 3 months. If I give you 2 years to build a house for me, you're going to take 2 years. If I give you 30 minutes to make a pizza for me, you're going to spend the whole 30 minutes making the pizza for me. The funny thing about this is 9 times out of 10, people tend to jump to action in the last 40% of the time that's allocated. So the university student might not even do anything for the first 2 months. They might just fart ass around. When I give you the time to make the pizza, you might just sit around watching Rick and Morty or Big Bang Theory for the first 20 minutes, then make the pizza in the last 10 minutes. So depending on what time we're given, that's how long we're going to take. So we can twist this and use this to our advantage. Instead of giving ourselves a year, which kind of gives us a lot of time to procrastinate, you can set your goals to be bi-yearly, quarterly goals. So you can decide that you're going to lose the weight in the first 3 months. You can decide that you're going to become healthy in the first 3 months. You can decide that you're going to increase your earning capabilities in the first 3 months. It's basically just a method to put a fire underneath your ass and force you to start doing things quicker. Just skip the procrastination altogether. So that's Parkinson's Law. Alright, so tip number 1 is to see the bigger picture. You have to understand why you give a fuck in the first place. Why are you staying true to your word about this resolution? Why are you doing the necessary things to attain this goal? You have to remind yourself, because if you don't remind yourself, you're going to fall off the path. It's only through reminding ourselves, only through going back and reaffirming in our minds why we chose to do this, that we can gain the discipline to stay on the path. All the people that you see that fall off their New Year resolutions is because they forget about why they chose to make the resolution in the first place. You need to engulf yourself in the flame, the emotions that you felt when you decided to make a change. You need to project in the future and see what attaining this goal will mean for you, what type of avenues will open up for you, right? So how would your life change once you've lost the weight? How would your life change once you quit smoking? How will your life change once you've made more money? You need to think about things that spark you up in an emotional level, things that trigger you, right? Emotions that trigger you. Perhaps it's a time when you couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs because your lungs were just so fucked up from all the smoking. Or perhaps it's a time that your cousin looked at you and said, hey man, you're getting really fat, and that one word, that one phrase stayed with you for 2 weeks. Perhaps it's the time when you couldn't afford to pay the rent and your spouse was looking at you funny. All these things, you have to go back to times that triggered you, that made you have that emotional understanding of that there needed to be a change. All right, guys, so those are my 3 quick tips. Focus on habits and not the end goals, right? Figure out which habits you need to do, understand Parkinson's Law, shorten that time frame and get it done. And of course, remind yourself of the bigger picture, understand why you're doing it, have a sense of mission, have a sense of fire in the belly. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.
So if you want to be my best friend, make sure you click post notifications when you subscribe so that you get notified as soon as I make a video. It's going to be great. We're going to be best friends. We're going to be best buddies. We're going to be pals and best buddies. And you can see my videos and I can see your comments and likes. And it's going to be great. It's going to be really great. Yeah.